I think it's important to have young people in influential positions because they bring a different perspective. So, though we may not be as experienced as someone who's, has 30 years or 40 years or however many years of experience working in a company or a charity or campaigning for climate change, I think bring something from we do bring something from the little experience that we have and like the little lives that we've lived. Because I guess we have different interactions with our friends and our teachers and people at school, university, etc., and those all influence how we see the world and how we experience the world. And I think those are very valuable, like our lived experiences, but also some of us have been actively campaigning since we were young, and we can always learn from others and they can always learn from us, and we can bring these perspectives that they might not have even thought about, because at the end of the day we are going to be the climate leaders in the future, and we as many people can hear our voice before we reach the time that we are, I guess, older and prominent climate leaders. um I guess it would be helpful for strategizing, so like youth engagement and engaging new audiences, people that younger people can relate to, and also I guess inspire to as well, aspire to as well, even. I hope that we're able to encourage more young people to apply to be on boards and to make change on a structural level in organisations and companies in the future.
That's a very pertinent point, Francisca. And I think the importance of having young people in positions of leadership is drawn into even sharper focus with the climate crisis.
Hmm.
Because as young people, we have a lot to lose from the climate crisis, perhaps the most to lose,
Exactly.
our futures. But the sobering reality is the average age of an MP is 50 years old. And it's almost unheard of to see someone below the age of 40 in a boardroom. How can these powerful institutions possibly put themselves in the shoes of young people, promulgate policies targeted towards young people,
Hmm.
if there aren't any young voices around the table? And that's why we need more young people in leadership. And that's why I actually admire Global Action Plan for their real commitment to empowering the voice of the youth. And speaking of empowering the youth, what are your thoughts on the power of young people to change the world? Can we actually do anything?
I think we're already making an impact, like with Teach the Future, for example, and them impacting policy, um, with We Don't Have Time, with the COP26 marches that happened at the last COP26 in Glasgow. I think people more and more, not just organizations and companies, but I think people generally are realizing that we do have an impact, we do have valuable contributions, and we are interested, and we can help them, I guess, as well in trying to get that youth engagement. Like I was saying previously, we are more connected with people who are our age, so I guess they're more likely to listen to us because we're their peers, we know where they are, we know like they're on TikTok or they're on Instagram, and we can just connect with them on a different level that doesn't feel as corporate. um what about you? What do you think?
I think that I think that I used to be someone who was disillusioned, who
Hmm.
felt disempowered, who felt like I was just one voice whispering into the darkness. And it's easy to think that when you look up and you see that all of our leaders today in politics and business tend to be fairly aged. But I want to share a story about how powerful we can be when we speak together. So, in my school sustainability society,
Hmm.
the ages range from around 14 to 17, but we have some people as young as 12. And by organizing a number of initiatives, we've taken sustainability from the fringes of people's minds to the heart of not only my school's policy making, but also the policy making of my school's parent organization. So that's how powerful we can be when we speak as one. And that's what I hope we can inspire other people to do, to get
Yeah,
together and to speak as one voice.
I guess I have a similar experience in that 2 years ago I started a campaign in my room using Twitter, Instagram, and whatnot. And I never really thought about what impact it could have. It was sort of, this is something that I'm annoyed about and I'd like to change it. And just using online networks, I was able to mobilize a group of young people. And now we've created something that's very impactful and influential within our discipline. So I agree with you there. Like, we can go from feeling disillusioned to being able to not only empower ourselves, but empower other people around us and really make change that we want rather than change that we're, I guess, that's sort of put on us, that's forced on us, that we don't necessarily agree with or that we don't necessarily think would be great for our futures.